Hello and welcome everyone. This is Type V3 with a Gunpla review of the 1 to 144th scale, high-grade RX-78-2 Gundam Revive, a re-engineered model kit of the classic mobile suit in celebration of the series' 35th anniversary. I'm not entirely sure what I was expecting to find inside the box of the HG Gundam Revive, but its contents are very sparse. There's 3 large runners, beam saber effect parts, a medium set of polycaps, and a small foil sticker sheet. Now, to put it simply, this build removes any complexity found in the latest high-grade Gundams and strips it down to the core fundamentals of a basic model kit. That's not to say it's as easy as an SD kit, still it gets pretty close. The instructions are straightforward, the model comes together incredibly quick, and gate placement is fairly smart, resulting in minimal nub marks. All in all, it's a trouble-free assembly. In most cases, the outcome of a simplified build is an equally simplified mobile suit, and that's generally the story here too. However, the Gundam Revive is special in that it's purposely going for that aesthetic. Gone is the realistic surface sculpting we've been accustomed to in recent years, and the proportions tend to lean towards the cartoonish side of things. Yet, the kit still maintains great color and part separation, with stickers only being used in the eyes and the crotch plate. Aside from filling in some detailing in the head sculpt, a straight-built HG Gundam Revive makes for a great representation of the mobile suit as it was seen in the original anime. The only thing I'm not a fan of is the milky white plastic color. I'd prefer something a little more pure. When it comes to the smaller details or sections missing paint, there's not much needed to add. If anything, the lower knee vents should be gray, and the interiors of the circle bits on the ankle guards should be black too. Panel lining is largely minimal, so you'll have to resort to lining edges if that's the look you desire. As for seam line coverage, it's in the expected spots, forearms and lower legs. Though again, I don't think any of this is necessary to have a good looking Gundam. Height-wise, you're looking at a 5-inch tall model kit, the average size for a Gundam in this scale. Mind you, its slender proportions can make it appear smaller than it actually is from certain angles. For articulation, the Gundam's head sculpt is on a double-ended ball joint, so one in the base of the neck and one in the base of the head. It actually has some pretty awesome range. I mean, the up-looking is pretty good, downwards is fairly good as well. Got good side to side. Tilting is pretty alright too, and there's nothing impeded by the short collar. The waist itself is on a ball joint, it goes side to side. There's a little bit of tilting, as you can tell by the secondary waist joint halfway up the torso, but what's really cool about that secondary waist joint is that it can actually pop up a bit there and gives you a little bit of an ab crunch. It can't go much deeper than that, but still, it's great for pulling off a lot more emotive stances. For the arms, they are connected on a simple polycap ball joint. Now, most times, or on most modern high grades, there's a cutout in the front so that it can swing forward. With this kit, you don't have that. Still, you have a little bit of swinging potential. Instead, the cut is on the top, and this lets you pull out the shoulder like this, so that you can go and do some crazy wild, hey, what's up poses. It's fine. I still personally prefer it when they swing forward, but I found that you do have enough range in going forward as it is. The shoulder pad is connected to that ball joint, so it's not separate, but there is a separate hinge for the arm to come outwards. You do have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, which is fantastic, and then a simple ball joint at the wrist. For the lower half of the body, the hip skirts on the sides here on a hinge that comes up, and it's just a swivel that moves them backwards out of the way. The front skirts are connected together, so you will have to cut them if you want to have the separate ball joint movement between them, and then the back ones are just solid. The hips themselves are universal joints, so forward range is good, sideways range is equally as good. And then, of course, they're connected on a T-bar so that they can move together with one another in terms of just getting a little bit more leg movement. There is a thigh rotation, double joint at the knee, which is just great. The ankles at the bottom are on a hinge at the top and a ball joint at the bottom. This lets you do a couple different things. You have a pretty decent ankle tilt. Pivot is great. And then the ankle armor can move independently just like that for some added variation when you're posing. Articulation on the Gundam Revive is fantastic and almost unrivaled by other HGs. It can't quite hit the ridiculous anime acrobatics, but all the iconic poses are achievable. The HG Revive includes a decent amount of accessories. For hands, you're given a pair of open palms and a single right trigger finger hand. Weapons start with the beam rifle, and it's pretty unspectacular. The basic appearance is highlighted by the yellow lens, and the kit can hold it without issue. The lens and support grip can be adjusted for various poses too. Next is the Hyper Bazooka. The main grip can be adjusted for different shoulder positions, though it is light enough for the kit to wield without any support. For storage, a separate waist clip has been included. It replaces a panel in the Gundam's backside and then holds the bazooka strictly through friction. There's a shield included for defensive purposes. It looks great since it's all assembled with proper color separation, and the backside has plenty of surface detailing to it. There's a peg and a handle for the Gundam to use, though to be honest, the peg alone is strong enough to keep the shield in place. Finally, the pair of beam sabers on the mobile suit's backpack can be removed and used with the included effect parts. There's no tabs on the handles though, so the grip isn't as secure as I'd like. Now, while that's all the items included with this kit, the Javelin and Hammer are also available. These, however, are only included with select copies of the Gundam Ace magazine. At some point, anyone who's delved into the Gunpla scene will eventually end up with the classic RX-78-2 Gundam in some form or another. Because of this, there's been many interpretations of the mobile suit across the multiple grades in the Gunpla lineup. The HG Gundam Revive fits the audience who seeks a version of the robot that's in an aesthetic that's closer to the animation appearance. It's not the most impressive looking model kit, it doesn't include the most accessories, and it doesn't provide the most engaging build either. On the other hand, it is likely the most playable version of the Gundam outside of a dedicated action figure, and its inexpensive price of 1,000 yen makes it easily the most accessible. So with that in mind, it should be fairly quick in determining whether or not this kit is a fit for you. Yet, I believe the high-grade Gundam Revive serves a secondary and arguably more important purpose. This is the perfect beginner's model kit. It's the kit you gift to someone in the hopes of introducing them to the hobby. Again, this super basic build and cheap price combined with the toy-like features result in a fantastic experience that can be enjoyed by almost anyone. If you've got a friend who's been interested in Gunpla and are susceptible to new addictions, this kit was meant for them. But that's all for me. Thanks for watching, and now that we've covered the lower end of the granddaddy of all Gundams, we'll return with something on the other end of the spectrum.